sometimes when we're thrown into these things too soon, we can hit burnout because we're not yet mentally ready. We haven't built enough strength. Your guides know. Your guides know the way. Just trust them. And I always say this to you guys. We're like a rat in a maze. We only see like from a flat surface the road in front of us and maybe some, you know, deviations. But our guides see the whole chessboard. They see the whole maze, right? So just trust them. They may know that at your abundance path, at the end of that road, when it comes to your mission, we're going to tap into that because we're doing still healing, right? But they might know that they may be something still when it comes to healing that you need to let go of, that you maybe are not seeing. So I feel like you're now in this era, you're really conquering your healing. You've conquered that, you conquered your mind, you conquered the element of healing. I feel like you're really going to be moving into this stage, this collective of balancing, right? Because when we heal, healing, we are attending to our masculine, inner feminine, inner masculine. We're attending to all our elements, right? Our shadows, our conditioning, the mind, the heart, the earth, the water, right? So it's all very crazy. It's a roller coaster. But when we've done healing all the parts of our psyche, that final stage is about really just balancing, really just learning to constantly be, I'm seeing like someone literally, you know, like a command center, like sitting in front of a variety of screens. Okay, this is where my masculine is, this is where my inner child is, this is where my wounds are, this is where my earth element, my fire element. You really need to master it all, because in a balanced being, mind, body, heart, soul, your masculine and feminine are constantly balanced and working together. Your earth, your fire, your water, your air are constantly balanced and working together. Your mind, your heart, right? Your body. So you really need to get used to attending to these things, because if you jump into your mission as a healer, working with people, you're going to get dysregulated, you're going to lose, you're going to focus so much, right? And it's not, like I said, it's not for a case for everyone. But if you're really going to be working with people's vulnerability, if you're really going to be working as a healer, it is a little bit different. You're going to have to be prepared for your specific mission. So I feel like you are now opening a new chapter of your journey. You're standing in front of that new chapter and you're excited. Your masculine is taking the reins to sort of move forward, but they're saying just relax. There's still certain shadows that we need to make sure that they are at bay, that they're tamed, that they're attended. And I feel like this collective, you still need balancing and you still need heavy grounding, because you've mastered this mind, right? So your mind is right now, but your mind needs grounding. That's what I'm hearing when it comes to healing, to really connect. And there's a reason in the beginning, if you remember, I saw your cards and I mentioned we have all elements, but we don't have earth. I feel like you should connect to earth element right now strongly. Really ground, connect to the power of the element of earth, of the patience, of the slow and steady, of really connecting to your ancestors as well. All right, that's done. Let's then do your path, right? We've done healing, then we're gonna do your mission, and then we're gonna do love. So what is it where are you? Let's ask, where are you when it comes to your mission? What do we need to know? What do we need to know? Okay. What? Come on. That's nice. Interesting. All right. Beautiful. Let's see if we're going to do another row. So your first card is declutter, number 34. So maybe you find yourself in a moment. I feel this is also the cluttering of the mind and clearing the space. I always explain this to you guys. In the beginning of this journey, we receive activations, we receive some visions. We usually do in the very beginning have psychic visions and intuitive visions of what is our mission, what is our highest, most abundant timeline, but we don't fully understand it. So as we grow, we go into the path of spirituality, self-discovery, connecting to our ancestors, right? And we start to connect to our mission, but we're a little bit all over the place. They're showing us certain things through passion, certain things that we need to go towards, certain things that we need to train within ourselves, that we need to take interest within in these things. But we're a little bit jack of all trades, right? So we're interested in crystals, cacao ceremonies, shamanic healing, Akashic records, tarot reading, yoga, and everything, herbalism, everything, right? And then as we progress, as we grow, we start to tap into that one thing, that because we usually have that one craft, right? It's good to know things, but you're not going to be jack of all trades, right? So you're either going to go towards it, your craft will pull you in. It will pull you in. So you start developing your craft, but then a moment comes that you realize it's not just your craft, but it's going to be something very specific that you're going to do. Because I say this to you guys always, even if you're going to be a reader, right? Your craft is to be a reader. It doesn't mean that you're going to be within that reading category, that again, the jack of all trades. You're going to be reading for love, for health, for everyone, and then people on a healing journey. No, we usually find they're very, right? So for example, I read for people who are in a journey of awakening. So I either do alignment to your highest, most abundant path, or I do divine love, so between soulmates or twin souls, right? So I don't read for random people who want to come for session, once in a lifetime and they don't really believe in tarot. That's not my mission. That's not part of my mission, right? So it's not just the craft, but the narrowing. I'm seeing this card from my other deck, the narrowing of a path. So maybe you've been recently sort of trying to declutter, trying to remove practices or things, or maybe I'm even hearing say no to certain customers that you know that they're not connected to your mission, because a true healer will do that. And I oftentimes tell you guys about that it's a dangerous thing on this journey, because some people who are awake and they go charlatans, I call them, they just want to make money at one point. So they will take any customer, even if this person doesn't resonate with their mission completely, or even if they see that they're not helping them, or they're not going to change because they're not ready for that change, right? So I feel like maybe you are doing some sort of a decluttering, that no, I'm going to step away from this thing. I now understand it's not part of my mission, right? It would make sense for the right collective. But what I'm really liking is that you have shamanic healing and you have womb work. So I feel this collective, you would be connected. So either you feel connected to shamanism. I was hearing womb priestess as well. So maybe you work with other women, maybe you use shamanic practices, maybe your area of expertise is the womb, the connection to the womb, to the beautiful portal of our womb, activations of femininity. Very beautiful. Very, very, very powerful. And we also have mind, body, soul. We were talking about this a lot, right? So maybe part of your mission as well is to understand how important this is. And I want to read through this real quick. There's a profound synergy between mind, body, and soul. By fostering this connection, you become more attuned to your thoughts and emotions. This awareness enables you to self-regulate and enhance both mental and physical health. Learn to feel your emotions within your body. I said this to you. There's a reason I said that. Listen to the gentle guidance it provides. Practices as yoga, dancing, meditation. I feel it ties into your mission, you guys. So either you already know this, or it's a missing puzzle piece. But I feel like maybe you teach women through mind and body connection to feel into their femininity, to feel into their womb, to communicate with our womb. Carries the memories of our past lifetimes, the memories of our ancestors, the wisdom of our lineage. It is a portal of access, not just to the void confirmation, but to Akashic records. So maybe you teach women to listen to their body. I'm hearing as well that maybe you, part of your practice is to help women to learn to tune into their bodies, to listen to their bodies. The holistic healing as well, I'm hearing. Very beautiful, you guys. Let's do another row. Declutter. Change routine into ritual. I feel more than anything, I feel like you're trying to be more intentional. I'm really seeing someone, I feel this collective, your mission is linked to this holistic healing. So it is a collective. So I'm hearing many things. Maybe shamanic practices, maybe womb priestess, maybe working with mind-body connection, but overall this holistic healing. So this someone that, you know, welcomes you in a beautiful space with incense, with light, with sound work. Maybe you use different tools. Maybe you use like sound healing, but also some shamanic tools. It's just teaching others to slow down, to tap into their body, to connect to their ancestors. And I feel like right now you are slowing down. You're trying to slow down. Because that racing mind, that masculine mind of yours is trying to be like boom, boom, boom. Like I want certain things to happen. And I know it's hard, you guys. I know it's hard. I resonate with that energy, right? But I always say to you that you have to repeat to yourself the ultimate rule of Bashar. Act on your highest excitement to the best of your abilities with no expectation of an outcome. If it is for you, for the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, you're going to have a different source of income. You're going to have a 3D job, or you know, some of us have 3D jobs, some of us have certain assets, and it really depends. It's very individual, but we're always, once you tap into your mission, my universal truth, we're always protected to be able to do that mission. And abundance doesn't necessarily have to come immediately from that mission. So even if you have to have that 3D job or other source of income, and you're going to have 1 or 2 clients a month, or maybe a week, and you feel like it's okay, it's for a reason. It's always for a reason. There's something else for you to do, maybe some other gifts to develop, maybe the strength to really build, maybe still some healing. Just trust. But I feel like you're really cleansing right now. I feel like you're removing practices for yourself that are not necessary, and really connecting to what really matters and what really going to be confirmation, part of your craft. Shamanic healing. What are you avoiding? What are you avoiding? That's interesting. Maybe there are some, this card is a sign that there's something within you that you're avoiding and not seeing, but it's a confirmation, because I said that a while ago, remember? That maybe there's still something, right? So maybe you want to jump right in. And it's on top of that shamanic healing. Maybe there's part of think about this, it's coming to my mind, connect to higher self. Maybe there's part of your practice, your future practice, your mission, that you still don't feel completely comfortable with, that you feel a little bit intimidated, that you're doubting yourself, or you feel even, I'm hearing, a little silly as you do that. You really have to own it. You really have to own it. Confidence is key on this journey. Not to be overconfident on our mission, but really, really, really. And remember, we said that you still need to connect a little bit deeper yourself to the dark feminine. Maybe there are certain things within you that are still not fully trusting as you're doing your healings and you're receiving the guidance. Are you fully in the zone? Are you fully in that feminine trust? As we start doing the healing, you guys, it's our feminine that has to take over. The feminine is a healer. Even if you're a man, the feminine is a healer. When you are, your healing, your mission is also going to be your business, right? So when it comes to scheduling sessions, charging money, talking to people, sometimes putting in boundaries, it's going to be your masculine, that protector. But as you sit down to a healing session, the masculine goes to rest. You really have to connect to your feminine. She is the high priestess. Proud newbie. Proud newbie. There it is. There it is. You want it? You want it, but you don't fully feel comfortable in it. And your guides know it. Your guides know it, and they don't want you to feel comfortable through forcing you in it, right? Because I feel this collective, because you are a little bit in your masculine, you would want to power through, right? You would want to be like, let's power through. The more customers I have, the more times I do it, the more comfortable I'm going to feel in it. But it's not necessarily the case. You really have to feel in every ceremony, every client, every time you do what is it that you do. You're still a newbie, and it's okay. You have to be a newbie to one day become a master. You have to. And that's on top of that womb. I feel like you really have to try this collective, if you have some clients that, they already are regular, or maybe they're your friends, right? Or you can do these ceremonies on yourselves or on your spirit guides. Be like, come on, sit down. I want to practice, right? No one says it has to be someone in the physical to practice, right? You can use your own body as well. But I feel like you really need to practice as you go into the ceremony, the session, whatever is it that you do. Really drop into your feminine. Really let go of the mind, let go of the masculine, drop fully into the dark feminine, and let's go. Really allow yourself, release your body to the power of your ancestors, release your body to the power of your spirit, release your body to become the channel in the hands of the Father Universe, and go. Compassion. That may be it, you guys, as well. Energy healing. It definitely, we're on to something, this collective, so don't make this fit. Don't make this fit. You would know, this collective, that your mission is something when it comes to energy healing. Again, shamanic healing, womb priestess, mind, soul, body connection, yoga, holistic healing, healing with sound, right? That kind of a stuff. But I feel there's a reason I mentioned this before. Remember that we're going to be dealing with people's vulnerability. It's not just about us. I understand that you want to fulfill your mission. I understand that you want to move forth, but it's not just about us. People that will come to you will be people who needs healers, wounded, right? And it's okay. We're all wounded, and this is why we're here. Healers for wounded people. That 5% of us who are true healers are for the rest of people who are wounded and ready to start the process of healing. But you really need to have a very deep compassion yourself, because there's a reason I said that with the building strength as well, that you're going to be dealing with situations when someone's going to lash out of you, and someone's going to be coming to you on session, and they themselves are not going to be ready for healing. Because us healers, true healers, we understand that we're not magically healing someone. We're creating and sending healing energy that these people have to accept, have to process. They themselves have to do the work, right? So some people don't get it. They think that they're going to come to you and you're magically going to remove all their problems, and then they get upset, right? So there's always someone, always, even if it's very rarely, but there's always someone who's going to defy you, who's going to challenge you, who's going to say that you're not helping, or that you lack compassion, or that you're not. You as a healer, you always know what people need. Some people need to be let go of. Some people are not ready, and they're not ready for you, right? You always have to be in line with your own mission. So you really have to build very deep compassion to understand that even if it's directed towards you, it's never personal. It's a reflection of the wounds of that person, Let's do maybe one row for guidance. Love. But it's also balance. You need to balance everything that is now linking to your mission. You need to balance, and you remember we also said rooted in love, rooted in fear. You need to make sure that everything is rooted in love. And love is patience. Love is compassion. Love is strength. Love is a warrior, right? Love doesn't rush into anything. Love doesn't push anything, forces anything, right? So really tap into that energy of love. Make sure that everything you do It's coming from a place of love. The most magical healers, they need preparation. They need really be grounded in the energy of love. I feel this collective, you're really going to be handling people. Women carry trauma around their womb. So if you're going to be doing shamanic healing, womb healing, holistic healing on women, trauma healing, you really need to be so strongly anchored in your love. You cannot be the healer that will tell someone and force someone into what do you need to do, because some women, they need healing, they need help, but they're beyond the capacity to change. That's what I'm hearing as well. You may be dealing with women that will, that's why maybe this compassion, because sometimes, it's a healer wound. When we're not seeing that someone is changing, right? In some situations, we should let that person go, but not always. It depends on what kind of healer you are. So I want to explain myself. I feel like this is important. So, healer like myself, I'm a shadow worker, right? I do energy healing as well. I do sessions. I focus on heart healing and sacral healing as well. But for most part, on a daily basis, I'm a shadow worker, right? So when someone, and even if we do healing with me, if you do healing with me, shamanic healing, it is an accessory to shadow work, right? So I work with people who are ready to heal. I'm a healer that creates healers. I'm a healer that creates people who really walk the path of awakening, right? So if someone comes to me session after session after session, and I feel that there's no change in their energy, that they're not doing the shadow work exercises in between our sessions that I'm telling them to do, sooner or later, I will let go. Because me sitting in front of you, sending you my healing energy, through also telling you about your shadows and how to heal them, but then you're doing nothing of it, nothing about it, it's going to get you nowhere. So I'm not going to waste my time, your time, and your money. I'm going to let you go, right? And it makes sense. For a healer like myself, it makes sense. But if you're a healer who someone comes to you, right, to lay down, to relax, to release trauma, to heal wounds, you do energy healing, right? And we're talking, for example, about women who are in karmic relationships, who are in toxic relationships, right? You help them to build strength. And some of these women will also be ready to rise up and to say, no more. I want a better life. I want to love myself better. I want to go towards better things in life. But some of these women may not be ready to change. And if someone comes to you every 2 weeks or every month for a session of healing, of releasing, of feeling the love of sisterhood, of a feminine to feminine, for you to hold her, for you to cleanse her womb, but you're feeling that she is, for example, it's coming to my mind, so it may not be exactly for all of you, but the core of the example will be relevant. And you will feel that this woman, she's not going to leave this man anytime soon or ever. You as a healer, that healer, you cannot be like, oh, I'm going to let you go because you're not changing. Because your job is not to change someone, it's to hold space for that person. This is also why we really deeply need to understand our mission, right? Let's do 3 more. Love is, it's so important for your mission, this collective. For your voices, heartbreak. I'm hearing 2 things with this. It may be that you're going to be working a lot with heartbreak, with relationship trauma, with womb trauma, with women. Healing after relationship, empowerment. I'm looking at this and I'm looking at compassion. I feel this collective, especially with that masculine energy, that logic energy that we mentioned, remember? I feel like you're very strong. Maybe in the past, think about this. Maybe you had healer wound in the past. Maybe it's something that you still need to attend to. But if you look at women, you're going to be working with that kind of things, right? This, it's coming through very strongly for this collective. If you look at women who choose to stay in karmic relationships, who choose to suffer, and if you see weakness within them, you're not ready for this journey. Because true healer understands that sometimes on some lifetimes we have karma to pay, and karma that we're not going to release ourselves from. And some karmic contracts and some karmic relationships are designed for you to let them go, and that's part of the lesson, whether that's a partner or a parent or whatever. But sometimes we live lifetimes where specific karmic relationships, our souls know that part of that contract is that it's going to be with you till the day you die. You have to see yourself in these women. You cannot see weakness. They're not in the same lifetime as you are. Think about this. Two of emotions. It's really, there's a lot of energy of love, of compassion, of emotion, of heartbreak, of heart to heart sort of energy. I feel this collective, you're part of your mission, and star healing juices that come straight from your heart. You're going to be holding space for others. That's part of your highest, most abundant timeline. You're going to be holding space for others. You may not be the healer. You know what I just also heard? It may be just an example, or maybe it's coming to me for a reason. I was seeing someone who comes to either a prison or centers of help, where really people are after really heavy trauma, right? It's really so much different to be a healer that heals healers and creates healers, and to be a healer who works with everyone on those who are on their first lifetimes or very traumatic lifetimes, right? Because let's say, maybe it's just an example for you to understand it better, but let's say you are someone who maybe at one point you're going to be working with, ex-cons or people who really exited very, very, very workers as well, maybe, right? You really cannot expect that by the end of this lifetime they're going to become love and light and healers. Right? Certain things are unachievable in one lifetime. And because you are here, remember this, you are here because you must have been at minimum like 500, 400 plus 500 lifetimes. So why are you expecting someone else to achieve that in one? You really love compassion. You're going to be holding space for people. You will have to send them healing energy, not to heal them, make them perfect, make them strong, and make them you, but to help them navigate the journey that they may never liberate themselves from. But your healing powers may do that. Instead of having to live 10 more lifetimes to release this karma, they're going to manage to do that in this lifetime. Maybe they're going to manage to forgive their oppressors, forgive themselves, release certain trauma, dissolve certain cords. So what? That for an external observer, their life is not going to change a lot, but their soul is going to transform. That's what I'm hearing. Very beautiful. This collective, you're magic. I mean, all my collectives are magic, but this collective, powerful. All right. Let's then remember what we said, that the last part, we're going to do love. So you're doing great when it comes to your healing. You're doing great when it comes to your mission. There's just a little bit of calibration, patience, tapping into your heart, emotion, compassion, love, right? So you really need to work on that, and it's going to be a while. So take it easy and combine the healing as well, everything that we said. So let's maybe see what's your energy when it comes to your connection to your masculine. So what's going on in there? Let's see. How are you connecting to your masculine?